He's responsible for our healing. And if we just do the different steps without believing in him, then it would be works without faith, right? And faith, well, faith without works is dead. I believe works without faith is also dead. They work hand in hand. All right, so next question. Shannon, you can go to the next slide. So the next law of health we looked at was pure air, right? So what are some of the benefits of pure air? Anyone?
Clear mind.
I missed that one. Who was that?
Sound like Raylan.
Could you repeat that for me, sweetheart?
It sounds like my nephew Raylan.
Okay, I'm not hearing him again.
Pure air, the benefit of pure air is like when we breathe in oxygen, and that is also help us to have a clear mind, a clear view of everything. When we have polluted air, we tend to suffer more loss of bad oxygen, and we intend to have more diseases and all those kind of stuff going on.
Right. Thank you, Sister Debbie.
Sister Brittany.
Yes.
In terms of pure hair. Now it's a perfect example, even with this dust that they're talking about since for the past week. And they are telling us that we are to try avoid it because it is polluted and it will lead to further sicknesses, like if you have asthma problem, it will sort of irritate it, or sinus or so. So it is good that we have pure, fresh air to breathe. At least further down the road, probably not even now, you'll see the effect of probably have different allergies and stuff like that. So it is very important that we breathe in fresh air.
Amen. Definitely. I was just about to say that. Thank you, Sister Claudine. Sister Debbie?
Then for you to get, Sister Brittany, for you to get fresh air, you have to go up in the mountains where the rain does fall, and it constantly clean up. It's more cleaner than down in the city.
Definitely. And I'm actually going to go into that. Amen. Thank you, Sister Debbie. Sister Terry, I see you unmuted.
It also helps to give us pure blood.
Amen.
Purifies our blood.
Purifies our blood. That's right. That's right. So yes, a combination of all the answers does answer the question. It also invigorates the vital organs, and as Sister Terry just said, it rids the body of impurities. And I don't know who, I think it was Sister Debbie that just spoke about the negative ions that you receive when you go into nature. You know, I'm going to the beach or among the mountains. So that leads to my next question. Shalom, you can go to the next slide. What are 3 positive effects of negative ions? Shalom said this question was so funny. 3 positive effects of negative ions on our bodies.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I'm hearing a little feedback. There we go. So does anyone know 3 positive effects of negative ions? Or what are negative ions? Can anybody tell me? Let's start there. Crickets. Okay. All right. So negative ions are odorless, tasteless, invisible molecules that we inhale in abundance, usually around natural environments, right? As I mentioned before, mountains, beaches, waterfalls, those are areas we can experience a lot of negative ions. So the negative ions help to improve our energy levels. It purifies our blood, maintains a healthy alkaline pH balance of our blood. It neutralizes free radicals, and free radicals is what lead to also the diseases and cancers that we experience in life. It also strengthens the body's immune system and balances our automatic nervous system. All right. The automatic nervous system are those organs and parts of our body that we don't have to do anything for it to function, like our heart or the things that happen naturally for us, right? All right, so next slide, Sheldon, and then move along quickly. So I want one person, don't be shy, right? One person to demonstrate and explain how to breathe properly. So if you're able to turn on your video, that would be great. If not, you can just unmute and explain what you remember about proper breathing practices.
To breathe from our diaphragm and not from our chest rather. As breathing from the diaphragm expand your lungs, which allows you to get fresher and cleaner air into your body. Pure oxygen as well.
Amen. Solid. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Anybody else have anything else to add, or does anybody want to demonstrate for us? What does that look like? Or how can you test and know when you're breathing properly?
One way you can test and know you're breathing properly is, as Tanisha said, your diaphragm must rise. So if you're breathing in and your diaphragm is flat, that means you're not breathing properly. Your diaphragm must rise when you're breathing, and when you let out the carbon dioxide, it goes down.
There you go. So as a quick example,
can I add too?
Sure, yes.
Well, a good way is to put Sheldon.
Okay, go ahead.
It's surprising that you don't know my voice, but anyhow.
Oh, Sheldon. Go ahead.
You put your hand on your chest, and while you're breathing in and out, your hand should not move because your chest should not be what's doing the expansion and the contraction.
There you go. Thank you so much. I was going to demonstrate, but you explained that so well. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Didn't recognize your voice over Zoom. That's so funny. All right, next slide. So we're moving on to the next law of health, which is exercise. The very, very fun one, right? So why is exercise important for our bodies? I should be getting many responses. You should all know this. How is it important? Why is it important?
Well, exercise.
Go ahead, sister.
Exercise helps to bring that oxygen that our body needs. It also allows for better sleep, clearer mind. And why do we need it? Because in a stagnant body, diseases grow. Disease, virus, bacteria, all that mucky stuff grows in a stagnant body. So once our blood is flowing, our heart is beating, we're getting enough oxygen, then our bodies will be healthier and our minds will be clearer as well.
Amen. That's right.
Amen.
Sister Debbie?
Yeah, it was a little bit about what the same things I was going to say. And it also help you, to maintain that stress level. It's carried down complete. And if you exercise in the morning, like she was saying, when you exercise in the morning, you slept the whole day, you have energy to go the whole day, and at night you slept tremendously. But the exercise goes also with the healthy eating. Not to exercise and you're going for a burger, you're going for French fries and all this kind of stuff.
That's right. They go hand in hand. Thank you so much, Sister Debbie. And I heard Rochelle earlier. You want to come back on and...
Yes, it is. Morning. I realized also that the importance of exercise, if it is that you should fall or injure any body part, It's like muscle memory or something, but it takes a shorter time period to recover from injuries that you may sustain to the body.
That's right. Your muscles have memory. That's why you need to stretch and work them. You know, they can handle more once you give them more to handle. Sister Terry?
Every organ of the body comes into play when we exercise.
That's right. That's right. Amen. So I have nothing to add to that. That was very, very, very clear. So next slide, Shalon, as we move along quickly. What is
Sister
HII?
Brittany?
Oh yes, Brother Fagan.
Yeah, before you move on, I accidentally went outside. Well, I didn't accidentally. I went outside with my phone, and then I realized that when I went outside, the Wi-Fi cut off, so I've missed out on a portion of the presentation by the time I came back in. But on the exercise, I think you mentioned about, well, I've just catch the last part of somebody saying about exercise. What I wanted to say in terms of exercise on the muscles, that when you exercise, you got to remember to properly stretch, because muscles cannot stretch themselves; they can only contract.
Right.
Right. So it's very, very important that you do a very, very good stretch afterwards. And one of the things that does as well is that it allow your body to adapt to whatever training you're doing a lot faster.
There you go. Yes, and Brother Fagan has so much experience with this. And you used to train Sister Lee, right, Brother Fagan? I remember hearing that.
Yes, that's actually the year that I'm in.
That's good. You
Yeah.
should do some Zoom classes. I would be in attendance.
I probably
But
should.
Brother Fagan,
Yes, ma'am.
you also have to stretch in the right way, because it have certain people that don't know how to stretch, and when they do start to stretch, they pull a muscle here or a muscle there.
Right. You don't want
You
to
have to know
overstretch.
what you're doing.
Correct. You don't want to overstretch, and you also want to make sure that whenever you're stretching, your body is in correct alignment and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff here, but I wasn't going into the actual technicalities of stretching. That's the important thing of stretching after you do your workout. So there are basic things you can do, like toe touches and reaching to the side and so forth, without getting into very deep stretches, But what I wanted to say is that the muscles cannot stretch themselves; they only contract. So if you're constantly only doing certain amount of activities, and you're contracting, you're not stretching back out the muscles, you won't get as much benefit from the exercise that way.
Amen.
Good to know. Thank you so much, Brother Fagan, for that.
You're welcome.
Very good. All right. So moving along. So what is HIIT? Does anybody remember what that means?
High intensity interval training.
Right. Very good. And what is that?
Intensity training.
Excuse
me?
No, man, go ahead.
It's an exercise that is good also for to strengthen most of your muscles that in your body.
All right. Very good. So it is a cardiovascular exercise, and it alternates short periods of intense anaerobic exercise with less intense recovery periods, right? It doesn't have to be long for those of us who have busy schedules. As I said before, you can implement that daily and still get a good workout in without spending an hour, at the gym necessarily if you don't have that time. All right. So moving along. I'm just gonna do sunshine quickly. And how much time do I have left? Does anybody? Sister Debbie, can you help me out with that? Don't want to go over my time. How's my time?
I think we need to check with Pastor. Pastor? Go ahead, I will check with Pastor for you.
No problem. All right, so sunshine. I mean, we all should know this. How does our body make vitamin D? We all learned this in science class in primary or prep school. So anybody can unmute and answer. How does our body make vitamin D?
It converts the cholesterol under your skin to vitamin D.
That's right. That's right. And why is vitamin D essential to our body? What does it do?
Everything.
Thank you, Tanisha. Somebody wants to break down that everything for me?
Well, one of the things that it does, it assists with eyesight. So when the sun rays penetrate your eyes, it helps in strengthening the nerve cells and the muscles, everything with the eye, so to speak. So it is said that it's not good for us to wear sunglasses when we go out because the eyes need the sunlight in order for it to strengthen and remain, for us to maintain good eyesight, so to speak. It also signals the brain, or the brain is signals through the eyes, the intensity of the sun, so that it tells our body when to close our pores so that we don't get sunburn or sweat enough so that our bodies cool down. The sunlight is very essential.
Amen. Thank you. Sister Debbie?
Yes, Sister Gordon, you have about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to wrap up at sunshine. All right. Very good. So sunshine. Oh, before I make my point, does anybody know what vitamin D does for bones? I thought somebody would have just said that so quickly.
Vitamin D enables the body to use the calcium that we intake.
Right. And what does the calcium then do for our bodies?
It strengthens our bones and our teeth.
That's right. And prevents challenges like osteoporosis, which is weak and brittle bones. All right. All right. So next slide, Shalon. This is my last slide. Does anybody know any other quick benefits of sunlight outside of what we said before?
Sister Brit.
Yes. Hi, Sister Sylvester.
Morning. Before you go on, what about us as Black people, separate and apart from white people, and vitamin D from sunlight?
In terms of the amount of time we spend in the sun, from what angle?
In terms of that angle, what's your advice?
I would love to hear your advice. So Sis, where are you gone?
I'm right here. It's just that I was allowing other persons to speak.
Okay, all right. So does anybody have anything they want to share on that? Length of time in the sun?
Well, we need more time in the sun because of the color of or the nature, texture of our skin. We need more sunlight, and we should get sunlight between 9 to 11 a.m. or 3 to 5 p.m. Outside of that, it's too hot for us to be in. So we need to have more sunlight because it takes a longer time for us to create the vitamin D, or for our bodies to create vitamin D because of the nature of our skin, or the texture or quality of our skin, I should say. Am I right, Sister Sylvester? Or close?
Sister Sis? Sylvester? I'm not hearing her.
I think I have to put my...
Agreed. Fully agreed.
Sister Brittany?
Yes.
I also was reading earlier where it says that sunlight it boosts your immune system as it aids in the increase in the buildup of the white blood cells, which basically is a fight against infection.
That's right.
Yeah, there are a lot of benefits of sunlight.
And if you also remember us as Black people, when we have our newborns, we take them out in the early morning sun, just like what Tanisha just said, early morning and evening, because it is very vital in breaking down that the extra bilirubin that the baby's liver cannot do at that stage. The sunlight is good.
That's right. That's right.
Sister Britton, I want to add this. I'm not sure how scientific it will sound, but I have always compare and contrast those who live like in the Caribbean to those who live like in England or certain parts of the US. like for example, certain times of the year, I realize that Caribbean people and Jamaicans in general are generally far happier than the folks over here. I mean, most time they're very sad looking and depressed, where most innocent Jamaicans, 90% of the time, they're laughing, giving jokes. And so I believe that the sunlight, in a sense, has a lot to do with your mood and your state of happiness as well.
It is scientific, brother. Sunlight helps to create serotonin and endorphins.
Ditto.
So it's actually scientific.
And you're 3 minutes nearly upstairs, but I can tell you of a friend who lives in Canada at the top of the world where it's ice like 80% of the time. And she got depressed because the place was always damp and dark. And as soon as the sunlight came out, girl, she became somebody else.
That's right.
Megan, you are
Yeah.
totally correct.
Sister Brittany, just another point. I remember sometime when we used to be sick in the country, and your grandmother used to say, wrap up in a towel and go outside in the sun, go sweat out the fever, sweat out something. So there must be some truth to this sunlight thing.
Yes.
Until you sweat out the
I was
fever,
told the same.
sweat out the cold, or sweat out anything, any sort of ailment you have, them tell you wrap up in a towel or something and go outside in the sun. True.
Definitely. All right. Thank you so much for your participation. I had one more question. I don't know if Pastor can oblige me, but no, not that one, Shalon. What is the spiritual parallel of sunshine in our life? Can one person give me one sentence for that?
What's the what?
Spiritual parallel of sunshine in our lives. So what does the sun in nature point us to as Christians?
Christ is the Son of righteousness.
Amen. Amen. All right, so that is my time. My time is up. I had a few more slides, but my time has expired. Thank you so much for your participation, brothers and sisters. I hope you were blessed. And I'm handing over back to Sister Debbie.
Thank you, Sister Brittany, for that inspiration on health focus. And may we continue to let God help us, because He is our sunlight also. And that we can grow more and more closer to Him. Sorry about that. Sister Ward have a special for us. I pray that we pay keen attention. Sister Ward? Sister Ward, are you there? We are not sorry to inform, we are not hearing Pastor them from on this side. So we're going straight into the lesson study. Brother Davis.
Good morning, Sister Debbie. Good morning, Sister Debbie.
Morning, sweetheart. How are you? How was your week?
Sister Debbie?
Brother Davis? Yes,
Yes.
Brother Davis. I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you too.
How was your week?
It was great.
Thank God for that.
Amen.
You can continue with the Sabbath school study?
Yes.